Welcome to the Brewery Adventure. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Dan. We're here to dive into the world of your local brewery.
It's not just about the beer, it's about the vibe, the people, and the stories behind every tap room.
From small neighborhood spots to big bustling brew houses, we'll bring you along for the ride. So grab a pint and join us on the Brewery Adventure. Cheers. All right.
That was lovely.
Bingo.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's usually just the two of us that get to marvel at how well we ping pong back and forth.
I kind of hold my breath through the whole thing, and then when we get to the end, I'm like, oh, okay, we made it.
And nothing blew up this time.
Well, welcome to the Brewery Adventure. We have a very special guest with us here today. We have Sam with the Beer Dabbler.
I am the Dabbler guy.
The Dabbler guy.
The Dabbler guy.
The Duke of Dabbling.
The Duke. Ooh, I like
yeah,
that.
There we go.
That looked good on a bumper sticker.
I was going to go Dabbler Dude, but I like the Duke of Dabbling.
Duke of Dabbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What is your actual title, if you have one, if it's not just the Duke
funny,
of Dabbling?
you like work long enough for a small business and you just kind of like acquire titles, you know, because there's like specific needs and like people just got to like all hands on deck. Technically, I am the events and operations coordinator. So like with the Dabbler Depot here at the liquor store, I might assist with operations, but my full-time specific goal is putting on our Winter Beer Dabbler and our Pride Beer Dabbler. And then now the Doobie Dabbler, our cannabis festival.
Yeah. And one of those is coming up very, very shortly.
Yes, it's 2 weeks away. I'm so excited, but also, these 2 weeks are awful for me emotionally because I'm just like, have I done everything I need to do? Did I dot my I's, cross my T's? And then like you get to it and you're like, oh, it's fine. I don't know why I'm such an anxious person.
It's a good, that's a good anxious though. It's an anxious because you care. It's an anxious because I put all this stuff together and I just want it to be magical for everyone.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like, I don't know, you really do like when you, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this, but
absolutely.
When you give a fuck about like what you do and like, you know how it reflects on you as a person, your work ethic, and you're like, I have all these people together. You know, we have all these breweries, all these other vendors, these food trucks. And it's like, if I screw this, like, I feel so bad. Like, if someone has a bad experience, I'm like, damn, like, part of that's my fault because I just didn't lock in hard enough or whatever. And so, like, that anxiety is just like, I want to make sure it's not going to happen, but I want to make sure 100% of the people there have a good time. And it's a win for everyone.
I can't imagine not having a good time.
I mean,
who are these people?
You should hear about some of the reviews we get, like, in my inbox after an event, because, like, they'll email info@Dabbler, and I'm the one who gets it. And they'll be like, there were too many interesting cheeseburger IPAs at the beer festival, and not enough Coors Light. And you're like,
Oh,
it is a beer festival. You also, I didn't force you to drink it. You could have just said no.
That's where they get you. That's insane. Yeah.
It's fun. You get wacky reviews, not enough porta potties, not enough domestic beer, or we didn't have enough cider, you know, that type of stuff. Some people say it was too cold, and it's like, really?
Man, why
bring
didn't
more
you think about
space
that,
heaters
Sam?
next year.
Yeah, I really should have, I should have gotten on the phone with the weatherman.
Did you email Mother Nature to just be like, hey, can we get a 40
CC my
degree?
boss on that.
Yeah. Jesus, that's crazy.
That makes sense. I can
funny.
See it now.
You learn to live with that type of thing. You're just like, okay, I can't please you. But like, if a vendor comes to you and is like, hey, this wasn't a win for us, you're like, damn. Or like, especially if it's like a brewery, just because we're such a tight knit community here in Minnesota and the greater Midwest, you're like, damn, like that's like my friend, who I've developed a relationship with. And if they didn't have a win, it's like, well, shit, let me call them up right now and figure out how we can get this better,
So the Winter Beer Dabbler started in 2008?
I think so. Yeah. This is the 16th Winter Beer Dabbler. Like, this baby can drive now. Like, it's 16. This is like 2010. Yeah, it's 16. It's the 16th Beer Dabbler. I mean, it started by Matt Kenevin. He's this is his brainchild. And then he's slowly, he grew it into something that's just like a staple, it's funny, when I moved here in Minnesota, I didn't know what it was. And then when I started working here at the Dabbler Depot and I started looking into it, I was like, oh my gosh, this name is like a household name. I'm at Goodwill and I see Dabbler glasses.
I'm pretty sure, just because I know several other regional beer writers, beer influencers who come here, I think it's like the largest outdoor winter beer festival in the country.
Yeah, I would bet.
Don't quote me on that, but I have heard that phrase bandied about.
I wouldn't argue with that because who else is going to?
I know.
Who else is going to hang out in the winter like we do?
I try to talk to my family on the East Coast. I'm like, yeah, it's outside in February in Minnesota. And they're like, outside in Minnesota in February? What are you doing? It's just like, we figured it out. We figured it out. You know, we got ways to warm ourselves.
Last year was my very first Winter Beer Dabbler.
Awesome.
It was my first beer festival ever. We talk about this quite a bit on the podcast. But for as cold as I was last year, anytime I said something about, oh, I'm cold, I would get a chorus of, oh man, you should have been here this one other year.
Yeah. When I was getting hip to this job, people were like, dude, this one year we were duct taping hand warmers to tap lines. It's like, we lost a couple people. We still haven't found them. It's crazy stuff.
Mystique of the Carney land, the midway at the state fair.
Yeah, the midway at the state fair.
But that is a way to tolerate it, I guess. It's not cold this year because it was cold last year.
Yeah, it's this cycle. I mean, we've luckily had some pretty warm days, or I don't know, my media guy, Jordan, he was last year was 32 to 28 degrees all day. And that's perfect for a winter festival. And 2024, it was around 40 degrees. And I was taking off layers just walking around the event.
I mean, last year was gorgeous because the temperature wasn't too bad, but it was very, very sunny.
Yeah,
so it was just beautiful.
But you had a good time.
I really think it was a turning point for me in my beer career.
Beautiful.
I walked away from that event just being so inspired and so excited about beer. I was excited about beer before that, but there was a new level of beer enthusiasm after that event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I come from a part of the country where beer isn't huge like it is here in the Midwest. And so my first dabbler, I was like, oh, I get it now. You know, I connected the dots. I was like, this culture is wacky and zany and for everyone.
And there were so many people there. I was not expecting the amount of people. Mm-hmm. Again, it's a day outside in Minnesota in February. Yeah. I'm like, there's not going to be that many people there.
No.
Oh my gosh.
It's a big draw.
Yeah.
How many tickets do you typically sell?
It fluctuates. I mean, at our height, it was 15,000 people.
Okay.
I mean, but right now, we really do coast at around the 10,000 person head mark, you know, just on that midway. And then there's the Coliseum. This year, the Coliseum's closed. It's under renovations by the State Fair. So it's all the people are just going to be everything's going to be jam-packed in the midway. It's going to be not claustrophobic, but comfortable.
Cozy.
Yeah.
We're going to call it cozy.
Be cozy. Yep.
Yeah. How long have you been doing the Winter Beer Dabbler event then?
I've been with the Dabbler Company for 3 years now. When I moved here to the Twin Cities in 2023 in June, and I was kind of bartending, and then I needed, another job to supplement my income. So I started working here at the Dabbler Depot. Just as one of their sales guys, I talked about beer or spirits or wine. And then we did our 2024 Winter Beer Dabbler. And that's when Jillian Hiscock was still our events coordinator. She's now she's now doing a bar of their own.
Yep.
And I was just on event day. I was like, this is awesome. I really like it. And I told Matt that I was really interested in Dabbler and Friends and assisting in the Dabbler and Friends nonprofit side of stuff. But I was just curious about events. After Jillian left to do a bar of their own, Matt sits me down, and I was kind of in charge of events just here. I'd been promoted to just events here at the depot, and he said, I want you to do the festivals. And I very gingerly was like, I do not, I have a liberal arts degree, man. I dropped out of law school. I don't think I have the experience for that. I want this to be a win for the company. And if I'm taking stock of who I am, I don't know, if you want me to assist with it more until I get the chops for it, I'd be open to it. And he just went, shh, shut the fuck up. You're fucking doing it. And I just didn't say no. This bearded man with a sleeve of tattoos. And
he can be pretty intimidating.
He's an intimidating guy, Matt Genovan. He's a sweetheart, but you're oh my God. And he's just you're doing it. And now I've just been doing it. It's just kind of hit the ground running. I was in charge of Pride immediately. And then after Pride, we started doing Doobie. And then from Doobie, it's back into Winter, and then back into Pride, and then back into Doobie again. So this is my second winter where I've planned it all the way through. I've done Pride twice, and I've done Doobie twice. So I have 6 of the festivals under my belt now, and it's just been we're growing in so many different ways, and it's just cool to be a part of it.
Are you feeling more confident in it now? I got this. This is my thing.
Once you learn, you're okay, I'm going to get if I fail, the worst that's going to happen is I might feel bad for a couple days, and I fix it. And then you're every time a thing comes up, next year I was okay, I remember what didn't go well last year, and I learned from my mistakes. And we keep really meticulous notes at the Dabbler, our spreadsheets and all of that. I will be able to look back and be I know that this vendor was at this booth at this time serving this beer and paid this much to be there. Their stipend was this much. It was this temperature, and these staff members did this position. And so once you get that built out and that that model, you can reuse it for every single event. And now it's just changing dates, getting a little bit more specific about stuff, being like, oh, we didn't really need that. We can cut that from the event, or that was a really big thing. People really liked it. We should make that bigger. You know, I keep little notes in the spreadsheets of like how it was received by my guests, you know, to make sure that I can really engage with it. Like the Knights last year in the Coliseum, the Twin Cities Wyverns, one of the best installations that like we've done. The reviews are insane. And now it's like, I can't do a festival without these guys being there. You know?
I saw them at a different brewery doing like an event out in the parking lot. They were amazing. Dude, it was so much fun.
Matt and his crew are awesome people. Like, they're really
so
cool.
For people who didn't go last year, what explain?
I didn't see them at the Dabbler last year, so I'm assuming it was the same thing, but you go ahead.
We worked with what they're called the Twin Cities Wyverns. They're part of the Minnesota Armored Combat Association. These guys dress up in period accurate medieval armor in a arena.
It's the coolest.
What? How did I miss that?
It was in the Coliseum, dude. Some people don't make their way to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know, they just like the real heavy beer heads are just like down the line, and then it's like, all right, event's over, and they're like, oh shit, like, but yeah, and then they fight full out.
That's
like,
really cool.
Yeah. It's like, for me, I was just like, oh, for this, like, yeah, let's get them in there. People drink some beer. They watch these guys fight, and they'll do big battles. It's not 1v1. It's like 8v8.
They'll do a group
that's
fight.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It's like 8v8 or like 1v2. And like, they're just the biggest sweethearts. The cool thing about the Twin Cities Wyverns is they have the highest percentage of like femme fighters in the area. There's a lot of women who get involved with it, and they're really welcoming to women doing it, the LGBTQ community doing it. And so it's like a diverse group of just like D&D nerds.
Yeah.
Very, very athletic.
That's awesome.
And
That's
they're really
cool.
approachable. Like you can go up to them and ask them about their armor pieces, and they will happily tell you like, I'm borrowing this from this person. This I bought and it costs this much money. They're like crazy expensive armor pieces.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
But they're just really, it's fun to watch them, and it's fun to be able to talk to them about what they're doing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's so hard and I even go, luckily, because, you know, Sam and everybody here at the Beer Dabbler Association is really nice and really welcoming with those of us who get media passes. We can come in early. And even when I come in early, I'm like, I got like 3/4 of the way. I have to start in one place and go in order because I'm weird that way. But I don't make it to the Coliseum every year. Yeah. And so like, I'm like, oh, what? I didn't even know about that. So that's cool.
I think it being consolidated might help us a little bit, simply because I don't know, like at Duke of Dabbler, the footprint's huge, and I'm running across that field solving problems. And so then I think about it from a guest perspective. I'm like, my feet hurt. Their feet definitely have to hurt. Like, you know, I might have started at 6 a.m. that day and they got here at 1 o'clock, but like it is hard to get to see everything. And then there's that fear of missing out, you know, like, oh shit, my friend's talking about this. I mean, for us, it's like, yeah, come back next year, you know, but also it's like, damn, I want you to see everything. You know, my team puts in such hard work. I want to make sure that this beautiful zany picture of fires shooting in the air, motocross are seen by everyone, and they don't feel like they missed out everything because the beer is there. You know, you will get plenty of beer,
right?
But like,
no shortage of that.
There's no shortage. But like, we want you to enjoy. Like, the culture for brewing is weird here, but it's also homegrown and it's approachable. And you know, you don't have to. It's kind of like a misfit energy in like a really good way.
I like that misfit energy. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's what drew me to the industry here in Minnesota. I was just like, you know, I love it. I just love it.
What kind of events are going to be happening at the Dabbler this year?
Yeah, then we brought in a group. It's called Fouling. Basically, it's like bowling, but with footballs. It's like one of those things. Like,
what could go wrong?
It's cropped up and people are like really into it. Shannon Blowtorch will be there DJing again. And then the Science Museum, who's also going to be on all of our glassware, is putting on an installation, like a science-y kind of interactive thing at their booth along the Midway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are the hot air balloon things going to be there again?
Yes, those guys will definitely be. I mean, it's so perfect. It's like, oh, that's also like, you take a photo and you see fire. You're like, that's a great like piece to like put on your socials. But also it's like actually warming people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
that
cool.
kicks off some heat. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And it's also cool if you're like, you know, couple samples deep and they let you crank that fire. You feel powerful. That's a powerful feeling.
I might have spent some time last year just kind of standing and watching some of the guys operating those things, because they were having their own happy fun times where they would like set it off purposely to kind of like alarm someone when they walked by. And then they were letting people come up and like participate in it. Like, they seem to be enjoying themselves as much as anybody else there.
Yeah, we're really excited to have them back. They're back all the time. They love doing it.
That's really cool. Are the motocross people going to be back again?
We won't be having motocross people, just some scheduling stuff. happened, and with the consolidation of the event space, they take up a rather large.
You're going to lose a lot of real estate.
Yeah, and so with that being closed, we also lost that lane that's dedicated to the food trucks. So the food trucks will also be on the midway. So we had, there's just with the scheduling and then the space and the logistics of it, we just had to make the decision that the motocross just won't be back this year, but we'll have them again next year once Coliseums open up again and we could run as normal.
What are you talked earlier about feedback? What are some of the things that the crowd and people like, hey, you should bring this back, that you're like, well, I don't know, it's like that was so long ago, or would that still be a thing?
There's a couple of like when the festival is like really in its heyday, people always ask for live music. They really, really want live music. For Doobie, it's like a live music galore. I book like 32 bands and it's live music all the time. Winter's a bit more difficult just because of the climate. As someone who plays musical instruments, the cold will do a number on your guitar strings and it'll keep it out of tune. The logistics of keeping a stage heated while people play is really difficult. And we found that it was logistically better and more people seem to engage with it if we just stuck with a DJ. But we always get the emails about live music. They're like, we want live music. We want live music. And, there's no shortage of bands in the really, local scene here in Minneapolis. It's just hard because like if people are like, we want to do it. I'm like, okay, cool. Would you be open to playing outside in February? And they're like, no, not at all. And it's like, all right, cool. No problem. There's that. And then we've had some other installations, with inflatables that people are interested in. It's just another cold thing. Like this event, the logistics stuff, like really does come down to temperature and climate. And why we also do snow sculptures, like Dusty will be back this year to do snow sculptures. But that literally is, we know whether or not Dusty will be there like the day before.
Oh, sure.
Just because well, I
remember the one year was like damn near 40 degrees and the whole, like every brewery on that like lower end, it kind of slopes. It was like a swamp. Yeah. And I remember people were like shoveling wood chips because it was like so muddy. I'm like, how do you? Yeah.
And that's the event coordinators, like every year at Pride, it rains. And we just have to get used to that.
That's right. That's true.
We just have to get used to it. We have to figure out a way. So we're changing locations this year for the Pride Dabbler to the turf field right next to the baseball field we operate out of.
Oh, cool. That'll be nice.
It'll solve us so much problem on mud. I had to throw away boots that I loved.
Oh, I was like, every time I was like walking so slow, I'm like, I do not want to be the guy who biffs it on the mud. And just, that'll be good.
Yeah, but so much of it really is weather dependent, and like that's nothing new for Minnesota. Is figuring out like how are we going to deal with the weather. We don't run from it, we deal with it.
If you move to the turf, this is going to be the year that it doesn't rain.
Probably. Probably. I guarantee it.
And that's okay. That'll be fine. That'll be nice.
That's just how that works. You guys published your list of breweries participating.
Yes.
I think I saw it yesterday. It's a good list.
Yeah, we're very excited. It's great because like we have a few newer breweries that this is their first time. And then we have a lot of returning people and they're just good friends of ours. And like this event for me now, after being at it for 3 years, it's just like every year it feels like I know more and more people at the event, or I recognize the same people. And so it's just like a nice, like, let's just hang out with your friends all the time. And so we're excited about the breweries coming out. We're excited about some good beer. We're excited to blow off some steam with everything going on with some good beer.
Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yes.
I'm gonna blow off a lot of steam.
Yes, please.
I'll be blowing steam like crazy.
You had a good chunk of out of state. Like there were obviously a lot of Minnesota breweries that were on the list, but you had some like Deschutes out in Bend, Oregon. You had a bunch of them from the Boston area that are coming in. How did those connections happen? How did they decide like, oh yeah, Minnesota in February, that's a great idea?
It's funny. And this is really where the distributor partners come in like clutch. So many of our smaller local breweries are self-distributed. They're delivering their beers themselves. Like they deliver the beer themselves here to the Dabbler Depot. But with the fact that we have, really solid distribution networks here in the Twin Cities, mostly because there's a really high demand for craft beer, and not just craft beer in Minnesota, but everywhere else, you're able to go to a brewery and say, like Deschutes, and be like, we would like you to show up. And then they can just go, our distributors there, they'll handle the staffing, they'll handle everything, and they'll handle being like our ambassador almost at the event. Like with Boston Beer Co., with, Sam Adams and Dogfish Head and all of that. It's just through the distributor. They show up in force and I put them on one big line and they're able to have a representation here in Twin Cities. And as someone from the East Coast, particularly near Delaware, seeing Dogfish Head at a Minnesota brewery thing is like really awesome.
Is Megan still the?
I know Megan is not. No,
okay.
she's since left, and I don't know what she's doing right now. She actually worked here at the Dabbler on the in-between for a hot second, and then she moved on towards something else.
All right. I've known her for years. I met her at the beer classes I did through BBSU.
Oh, cool.
And then she's like a neighbor. So we go way back.
Yeah.
You also had on the list, I tried to point this out to Dan, we've had our eye on a brewery in River Falls that someone recommended to us because they do, it's like a bike shop and brewery combined.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw that the Garage was on your list. So Dan, we're going to see them.
Yeah,
and
I'm kind of
we're
excited.
going to become great friends with them.
I hope so.
They're very sweet. This was like their first, they reached out. They're like, we've never done this before. Like, how do you do it? And I was like, I will happily walk you through the process of signing up and getting everything situated and all of that. And they're excited. I'm ready to have them. They'll be, flat center in the northern row of the Midway. So look out for them. They'll have their branded tent and everything like that. They're stoked.
I was really excited to see them. Who are you excited about on the list?
For me, it's crazy. Oh, hot take, not a hot take, but surprise. I'm actually sober.
That's even better.
I knew that. Okay. I knew that.
I don't drink anymore. I like my 2024 Winter Dabbler and 2024 Pride Dabbler was the last dabbler I consumed alcohol at, and I've been sober ever since.
Congratulations.
Thank you. For me, I have a really good relationship with Wandering Leaf Brewing.
Yeah.
I love those folks, and every time I see them there, and they're just always having a good time. And understanding that this is also like a big marketing thing for these breweries, seeing them get a big line, knowing where they started is always like, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
I love that.
There's that. And then when I first moved to Twin Cities, I moved down the block from Arbeiter Brewing Co.
Yeah.
And I've just been a fan of theirs ever since. Every time I see it, I just go, I used to be by you guys. I miss y'all. So those are the ones that I'm really excited about. Deschutes I'm excited about because they make this NA porter that I love, and I will be rushing over there to see if they brought any for me.
A question I have about, you mentioned NA. That's becoming a bigger deal to a lot more people.
Yeah.
How does that, how is it easy to get a brewery to commit to bringing an NA thing, or how does that work? Because I know it's kind of expensive if people are going through ABV and different things. Like, how do you do that?
So for me, Brewhaven has a really good NA selection, primarily in their NA mushroomy drinks and stuff like that I really enjoy. There's never a problem getting them. If it's part of their repertoire that they're a little bit known for, it's never difficult. You don't usually even have to ask them to bring it. They'll usually just bring it because they know it's good marketing for them to have that beverage there, to offer it. I like when breweries bring NA beverages to their tent. While we have our NA tent that's dedicated and it's usually sponsored and it has all these NA goodies that people can drink and enjoy. I like it at the tent so that people who don't drink can also go tent to tent.
Yeah.
And try stuff out and things like that. Because it's getting more popular, there's definitely a little bit more ease of seeing it. Plus, I never require it, just because, I do have it at a designated tent where people can safely consume it without worrying about maybe any cross-contamination or being served something that isn't alcoholic. But it's becoming easier and easier. It's also becoming a little bit easier just to find NA beverage groups who want to participate in a beer festival, because they understand that there is going to be a market that people do participate in Dry January, or beer drinkers are choosing to drink non-alcoholic beer at times. If they've been drinking a lot of alcoholic beer, they might take a weekend where they just drink Trail Pass by Sierra Nevada or something like that. And so we have Yerba Madre showing up to serve yerba mate cans for people to try it, and all of that. So they're seeing a lot of crossover. We don't have any THC at this event. Fairgrounds regulations on THC and all of that.
Oh, sure.
But if that ever changes, we will have plenty of breweries who have THC that they're going to want to peddle.
Have you heard a lot of that? Can you get THC there?
I have to on the sign up sheet, I do have to make a caveat before someone even signs the sign up. Hey, by the way, this is the policy. If you want to bring anything cannabinoid related, it needs to be CBD topicals, and they're only allowed to smell it. They're not allowed to put it on their body.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
But that's also why we have breweries participating a lot in Doobie, because they can show up, and while they might not be able to sample alcohol, they can certainly sample off their THC,
Yeah.
I missed Doobie last year. Did you go?
I didn't go. No. That's in the fall, right?
Yeah, it's the first weekend of September.
Oh, that's
there's literally so much. I mean, you teach,
I'm not doing anything. That's the saddest weekend of the year. I go back to work.
I remember getting a little coupon at Winter Dabbler for Doobie Dabbler.
Yeah, it's growing. We're still trying to work out all the kinks on it and what's going on.
That's down in Shakopee?
Yeah, Seavers Farm.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
It's nice because it's like an adult fall fest.
Yeah.
You know, like you can sit there and get high and ride a giant slide or ride a hay ride and see a live music.
Dan, we're going.
That's kind of interesting.
We're going this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see.
We've seen some wild things at Duke of Dabbler.
I bet. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm curious from year to year, what's what percentage of breweries changes from year to year from your brewery list? Is there like a waiting list to get in? Because obviously you're kind of landlocked, or you got to cut it off somewhere. How many breweries can you safely?
I can get quite a bit of breweries. We're typically at the 120 mark.
Okay.
And we've never had to cap it. We've been comfortably at the 120 mark for a number of years now. And we still have space for more. Like if it's day of and someone's like, can I be there? I showed up. I'd be like, off the top of my head, yeah, booth 13 is empty. Go. It's over there. You know, we have plenty of space. It's you know, there's limitations in the way that the tents are, but because the Midway is so big, we can shape the tents quite a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, 120 is usually the number that we get. Most of the time, the only time we see people not participate in the Winter Beer Dabbler, we always have a wait list for Pride because it's a very controlled spot. Yeah. But for winter, the only reason we might see a brewery not return is one, they might have a staffing problem. It's just difficult sometimes to get people to get to that event. And if they can't, if everyone's already manning the tap room that day, it doesn't make sense to send the people manning the tap room, close the tap room to go to an event sometimes. Unfortunately, the other and frankly more common just in this day and age is the brewery just closed, they might have closed down and, they're not going to be a participant, or something might have happened with their distributor and they can't, get their beer there and stuff like that. So that's usually why we see, people not participating. But, we try to keep it. I mean, I send the same invitation to everyone. I want as many breweries there as possible. I want someone to try a stout, walk over, drink a cold lager, and then walk over and drink a cheeseburger IPA.
That's
in that order.
I like that plan.
Works for me.
Yeah. Those sampling, I've seen some people, I'm like, have you washed your sampling glass out at all? During this event? Because some of them, I'm like, that's gross.
A little gnarly.
I mean, usually someone does that for me before they pour into it. And I really like those. I like those booze.
That was one of the funny things about when it was so cold, though. All the foam froze and it was just like this.
Oh, no.
It's just weird shaped, weird colored, frosty slush. It's what's in here?
This beer gelatin.
Yeah, it was beer gelatin. It was very weird. It was like beer aspic. Yummy. That was strange.
All right, another favorite part for me about any of these beer festivals, and it caused some heart palpitations when I walked into Winter Beer Dabbler last year. I had been told about the snacklaces. Yeah. I had this image in my mind of what snacklaces were going to be.
She's obsessed.
Before I even got to the entryway, I saw a guy that was all bundled up in his snowsuit and he had this big giant snackless on that was full of all kinds of meat and cheese and pretzels. Yeah. And I pulled him aside immediately. He's like, "Oh my God, can I talk to you about your snackless?"
Yeah.
But the whole day I was maybe stalking people around the ground so I could get pictures of their snacklesses.
Maybe stalking people? That's
okay. I was straight up stalking people.
Yeah, I do the snacklesses thing. Again, I come from a part of the country where brewing isn't crazy big. There's not a whole lot of festivals, but the snackless is a uniquely Minnesota thing from what I've seen, because it's a loophole for getting food onto the fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
It's why some years I've had food vendors be like, "You need to ban snacklesses. It's cutting into our bottom line." And I'm like, I literally can't. It's a loophole.
Good Lord.
It's a loophole. I'm sorry, I can't change state fair policy. I am but one 27-year-old who works for a small business. It's a loophole. But dude, I've seen entire rotisserie chickens on a snackless.
Are you serious?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna throw out the challenge for you this year, Courtney. You need a Cornish game hen on your, or don't come at all. That's we're putting it out there. And you can see when you come to the Beer Dabbler and you look for Courtney, if she doesn't have a roasted fowl clanging on her jacket, well, she wussed out.
It's crazy. Slices of pizza. I've seen mozzarella sticks. which is like that's sick. I love mozzarellas, but it's like,
did they also have like a little dipping sauce to go with the
sticks?
they'll
bring like craziness. I've seen so much where I'm just like, okay, well, I got to keep walking. Like there's things to do, but like I just watched a full 7-course meal walk by.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the ingenuity knows no bounds.
Yes.
Well, the nice thing at the Winter Dabbler is you can do like beef sticks and they won't ruin your shirt like what happened to me.
I was gonna say the guy who constantly reminds me about how he ruined a shirt with beef sticks
really
is telling me to
sad.
wear a Cornish game hen.
Yeah, but it's winter. You wouldn't do that in the summer, but wintertime because there's no meat sweats. There's no sweaty meat on your. Yeah, it was just. It's the optimal thing for cheese, beef, Cornish game hens, whatever you want.
My sister in Maryland. I'm from Maryland originally. My sister in Maryland is like, she's talking about coming to go to this with her boyfriend. They've never been.
Fun.
She's like, I want to bring steamed blue crabs hanging from my snacklace. Just like
that would be so cool.
If she does that, I need a picture.
I was like, first of all, I don't know where you're going to source the crabs.
Yeah, she's going to have to bring them in her carry-on.
I was like, you're just going to have to like, I don't know how this is going to work, but I believe in you. But yeah, do it. Cover it in Old Bay. Bring a mallet and all that. Like, you know, wear your O's cap. Be like, how about them O's? You know, like go through and just like, I support it. You should do it.
That's great.
If anyone shows up with like fresh blue crab for me, like if my sister does not pull through, I'll give you a ticket to the Pride Beer Dabbler.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, game on.
That's awesome.
And I wanted a Baltimorean accent along with it. You know, just the classic. Like,
and if you want to match Courtney with her Cornish game hen, go ahead and do that too.
It's got lots of options.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't do the Cornish game hen. That's too much.
Okay, especially not with that attitude. Wow. I guess there's like, let's have a growth mindset here about what we can put on a snack list.
You could be like a hipster with like tin fish.
Oh, man.
The tin fish craze. Do that. Couple sardines.
Oh.
You'd clear
or you could do that. So
you clear up the line. They'd smell you coming and be like, all right, we need to get out of here.
Right.
Drecker would clear up so fast, that line.
I have never gotten to have one of their beers at a beer festival because their line is always too long.
Oh, dude, we've thought about it, like the Drecker line.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, good for y'all. Like, good for y'all. Like, y'all make good beer.
But also, you've got to put them in like a logistically place where it's not going to like...
Yeah, part of us are like, do we just give them 2 locations? But then that's like a staff. We create a barrier for them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
staffing,
But
and so it's like, what do we do? You know, other than just, I'm sorry your beer's so good.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
That seems like the right reaction to it.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, you know, that's just part of the fun. It's like, all right, where are we going to get in Drecker line now? Or are we going to go around first?
But you earned that good beer by waiting in that line.
Yeah. You know, they make good stuff.
It is nice. What are some of the food vendors you're going to have this year?
Yeah, I'm going to have some classics that are, you know, usually there, like my pretzel guys, my pierogi guys and stuff like that. But right now I have a lot of, Hispanic food and a lot of Asian food.
Oh, nice.
And stuff like that.
Perfect.
You know, that was a little bit purposeful with everything going on.
Good.
I want to make sure
that's awesome.
That's represented. But like for me, selfishly, I want to eat a taco after the end of the Beer Dabbler and stuff like that. So we got some donut vendors, like mini donut vendors as well. It's the fairgrounds.
Yeah, last year I had the cheese curd tacos for the first time ever. Oh my Lord. That's, I think, where we ran into each other. I was really...
Because I was going to go, I didn't make it to the Coliseum because I ran into you guys by the food trucks.
Yeah, that was, oh God, I've written things about those
cheese curd tacos.
Those cheese curd tacos in my special time food journal that nobody gets to see, but it's really exciting stuff. Yeah, those are good. I'm assuming Potter's is going to be there.
Potter's won't be.
Man, that's a good wintertime beer festival snack.
It's awesome. It's more of a I can't go into too much, but it's just an issue with the fair specifically.
Okay.
So getting a food vendor on site is actually quite a bit of a lengthy licensing process.
Oh, interesting.
With the fair, because you might have a Minnesota Department of Health license, you might have a food service license for St. Paul or Minneapolis, but to operate on the fairgrounds...
Oh, because it's like its own entity?
Yeah, dude.
That's
it's
weird.
Like,
okay.
You need to be licensed with the fairgrounds, and you need to, provide them the proper documentation. You need to go through their process and stuff like that. And sometimes it just doesn't work out, And so like, that's the tricky part where you're like, I want this food vendor there. I want this food vendor there. But if they don't play ball with the fair, my venue, it can be a bit of a challenge getting them in there and stuff like that. So I usually overbook food trucks because I have the anticipation that some of them might either not want to jump through all the hoops. It might be too much work for them, or they actually don't get approved.
Okay.
And the fair has the right to do that. They look at their health stuff. They look at their history. and things like that. And most of the time, anytime I've been called by my rep at the fair and they're like, we can't have this food vendor here, he explains why. I go, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Like for the integrity of the event and food safety, yeah, we're not going to have this person at the event. It's never like we have a personal vendetta against Northeast pretzels. They cannot come into the festival. It's just like,
they're just too good. They're just too good. They distract from everything.
Yeah.
So from year to year, what is the logistical thing? Like, what's the best thing you've learned in your 3 years of doing events? What's the thing that you're like, at first you're like, God, how do we solve this problem? And now you're like, I can't believe I ever thought this was tricky.
Yeah, I think when I first started, the anxiety about missing something, as you're learning, there's like that I don't know what I don't know, like at all. I know first accepting that you're probably going to miss stuff because you simply don't have the knowledge in your brain to recognize that's a thing you need to do. But now that I've done it, you really start to get your priorities in a row. You also learn to multitask on events. So in the process of signing people up for one event, I might also send them to sign up for an event that might be within a year from now.
Yeah.
But by the time I get to that event, I've already saved myself a bunch of time on that. The one thing also straight up is just having the right communication with your team. On the event site, like this stuff has been done now for 16 years. There's a method to this, like Matt and his crew and my on-grounds producer have done this before. They do it every year. They know exactly how it's going to go. I've done this now for 3 years. I know how a lot of it's going to go. I know that every year I'm probably going to have a new face on the team in some way, whether they just be one of our part-timers at the liquor store who are coming to the event to help out, or if I've booked another contractor to run my front gate rather than one I've usually used. Being able to communicate effectively what this thing is going to look like before they get there solves so many problems. Because when you get to a thing that you've never been to before, it's that same like knowledge gap. You're like, oh, I don't freaking know what's going on. I don't know where that is. And just like trusting that, like we all say to each other when we start the event, like all of us are going to be mean to one another today, probably at some point. And just let that roll off the shoulder. It's not personal. I'm just really stressed. 4 people might have just called me on the radio at the same time. You might have just lost your phone, or for some reason the Wi-Fi box for all of our scanners stopped working. Or maybe it's so cold that the Wi-Fi or the ticket scanners aren't working at all and the battery's draining all the way. Yeah. Maybe you lost a camera lens, or maybe this vendor hasn't shown up in time, or we're 10 minutes out from opening the front gate and no one can find the designated driver wristbands, like...
None of this stuff has actually happened though, right?
No, that's
we're
never
just spitballing here.
And then like that's like the big thing. The other thing is just like organizing the event leading up to it. I was lucky enough to follow in the footsteps of Jillian Hiscock, who is one of the most organized people I've ever met in my entire life. She is a gem, absolute gem. And realizing that she created systems of signing up and organizing stuff that did a lot of the work for her. So like automated forms that will auto-populate your spreadsheets. Saving yourself on that work so you can always find it, and then it always has a copy of everything is really good. Comparing to last year, maybe what you spent, what vendor was there, all that stuff. Once the map is basically set in stone and this thing's going to look like the way it is, you can really start doing the fun stuff of like, well, what if we try this, or we, all that stuff.
There might be an extra challenge this year. We have some unwelcome guests in the Twin Cities. How are we dealing with that at the Dabbler? Is that a concern? Is it something that you've prepared for?
I mean, it's, to be frank, like this whole situation in the Twin Cities with Operation Metro Surge, the presence of ICE and Border Patrol, the kind of political lens that's been like focused on our city, like we're in the news all the time, has been really difficult for small businesses. Yeah. And that includes breweries, and includes here at the liquor store. I mean, our team for the festival side of things is like only 4 people. We're a small business. From a consumer perspective, like people aren't thinking about, what plans they're going to make by the end of the month. They're thinking about what's happening right now in front of them. It's been difficult, just like it was for COVID. COVID was really difficult on small businesses, and we're feeling the same kind of economic and social pressure about like, what do we do? What's going on? For us, my chief concern is safety at the event. My chief concern is that everyone feels welcome and has dignity in the fact that they're welcomed. It's not enough just to invite them to the table, but if they don't feel dignified while sitting there, you've wasted that invitation. So for us specifically, there's good news. Working and operating on the State Fairgrounds, and the fact that it's a private ticketed event, gives us a lot of freedom to deny entry to things. We have the right to say you're no longer allowed welcome at the event, or not allowed in the event. The State Fair Police, after speaking with them, they don't cooperate with Immigration's Custom Enforcement or Border Patrol, the local police, that off-duty officers, and the local state troopers that are off duty there as well do not cooperate with ICE or Border Patrol. My private security that we hire to kind of like be a presence in there, I've also told them that, you know, we're not going to be cooperating with Border Patrol or ICE in any of their operations.
Okay.
Nothing short of a signed judicial warrant for within the expected amount of time that is valid and that I've seen with my own eyes will allow those guys on the festival grounds. Today isn't about like immigration politics. Today is about making sure everyone in the Twin Cities, no matter where you're from, can enjoy beer, can enjoy Minnesota, and feel safe and dignified. I mean, you know, and I've had breweries reach out and ask the exact same thing, and, you know, it's the same answer. Nothing short of a judicial warrant to be here. We'll get them in there, but it's a private event. You have to have a ticket to be here, and I'm not going to sell you one.
Yeah, good on you. That's nice to hear.
It's been hard for me to wrap my head. Like, I'm excited for the Beer Dabbler to be happening, but it also doesn't feel like a time to be excited about going out and having fun.
Yeah. And, you know, I've been thinking the same thing. Like, I live in uptown Minneapolis, and it's, as I was saying before we started recording, like, this is a very real presence in my life, just going to and from work on the weekends, going to the grocery store. And as it is for many people in the Twin Cities and even our surrounding suburbs, for me, being the guy who plans the fun thing, it kind of feels like, what am I doing? Like, throwing a party right now?
Yeah.
You know, luckily here at the depot, we've partnered with Potter's Pasties to do pasties for protesters, where it's like every day now, we're like feeding people at protests and all of that stuff. I mean, we've always had a pretty big stance on inclusion here at the company, as evident. Like, we have Rainbow Wall over by our macro beer here in the liquor store. So like, you know, if you want to buy Bud Light, you got to be by a rainbow flag type of thing. But, you know, it is like with the community, like, for us right now, so much of us have been at protests, so much of us have been at vigils, so much of us have been delivering groceries or collecting groceries or doing monetary deposits. Like, at some point, to keep the momentum going, steam needs to be let off, you know? Like, I encourage people, like, find a way to, like, at least rest a little. Like, when this all started, I was not sleeping well, and I know a lot of people weren't sleeping well, and it affected my work and all of that. And it's like, dude, just find a way. If you can, for 4 hours, drink yourself silly on craft beer and shoot fire into the air. And
challenge accepted.
Yeah, challenge accepted. I mean, you know, we've been talking a lot about this kind of neighborism here in Minnesota. You know, and for me, Dabbler is so Minnesota. And every year I do this, I meet a new neighbor in the brewing industry. What I would hope for this Beer Dabbler is for people to show up and enjoy the beer, but also start talking to people a little bit more, getting to know each other. Yeah. And this is like more of a community, like, we're together. This is what we do. We're cold. We're drinking beer. And we love each other because this is Minnesota. You know, it's why I moved here. It's why I'm going to stay here forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though there's no blue crabs.
I can handle it. I can handle it. Wow, I can get my fix.
That means he likes it. Because
dude, I was like telling my dad, I was like, I'm not a Marylander anymore. Glory to my country, Minnesota. You know,
that's what happens.
It is. It's, you guys are contagious people. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of what you said is like most Minnesotans are pretty decent people. They make good neighbors. Yeah. You know, like that's nice. It's not like that everywhere.
Yeah.
You know? So,
but I think this has taken it to there's a whole new level of good neighborism that's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's been really heartening to see, like, the craft beer community itself, all of the different breweries. It's hard for me. I can think of some, but there's a very short list of breweries that I know of that are not doing something right now in terms of donations and gathering supplies to donate to places. They're all trying to do whatever they can to help people right now. And it's so nice to see.
It is.
It's huge.
It's kind of like how a brewery functions. Like, when I got here and I realized how it functioned in each neighborhood, you know, as the spot.
Yeah.
You know, as that third place for people to gather and stuff like that. Like, I think for most brewery owners and most of the brewery owners I know, helping the community during this was just like, yeah, that's just what we do.
Those are my people.
Yeah. This is as natural to us as making beer.
Yeah.
You know? And so, you know, there's nothing more neighborly than like sharing beer with people, you know. You know, think of this as like the big garage that you all sit in as you drink beer and stuff like that. Like, but it's just the midway of the stairs.
Now,
I like that.
People can buy tickets. Do you want to speak a little bit about the types of tickets that are available to buy?
Yeah, there's two types of tickets. Okay. Right now we have our general admission ticket, which gets you in at 2:00 and runs you through the rest of it. Or you can come in early with the early access, gets you in an hour early, and you'll enjoy less lines. You'll enjoy less crowds. And you'll be able to really, like, that's a good way if you want to drink some Drecker beer. You get that early access.
I think that's like the only way.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way to do the Winter Dabbler, just because like the lines do get really long. And if you really want to, if there's certain places you're excited about, or if there's like a special beer that they're tapping at a certain time, I think you got to get the early access.
Yeah. GA runs you $55 and early access is $15 more at $70. And the way I think about it is, that's a bar tab right there. Yeah. You know, if for a lot of places,
especially cities, now. I mean,
that's like, it's like with inflation, like, that's a bar, like $55 is a bar tab for you and a date going out. And so it's like, but you don't get unlimited beer with that bar tab. You know, you don't get.
No, you don't. No, we got to fix that.
Yeah, we got to find a way to fix that. So that's like the way I'm like, if you're going out on a Saturday anyway, you would have spent this anyway and gotten less.
Yeah.
Well, and you also have a designated driver ticket available, right?
We have a $20 designated driver ticket available. You know, that's the people who will enjoy a lot of our NA beverages and things like that. And that's one way we can guarantee that people can get home safe. You know, these are the troopers out there who will I've been this friend who's like following the crowd as they go from tent to tent, making sure everyone's safe, phones are charged, bags are picked up. If you dropped a mitten, they're picking it up. But we're also working with Metro Transit to have free rides for our folks that go around. And then, you know, we have a Uber drop-off system that we have at the State Fair right on the Snelling entrance.
You mentioned battery running out on your phone. That happened to me. It was like the 2021, I think. Mm-hmm. I was like going to call an Uber and my phone died.
Oh no.
And I'm like, well, I guess I'm walking home. So I live over in like Como Park.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the year it was like really warm. So it was like, and then everything was freezing. So the walk back down Larpenter was just absolutely horrible because I was like overheating and slipping all at the same time. And I went into that Jimmy John's over there. I'm like, if I buy a sandwich, can I use a charger? They're like, yeah, sure. Come on in. Like, thank God.
Thank God.
I wasn't going to make it.
I mean, that's like the phone charge thing. Like that's the one tip. I'm like, you really need to make sure your phone is charged because at the end of the night,
the cold is going to drain that battery.
And it drains it fast.
I bring 2 different portable chargers on events day. One, because everyone calls me right as vendor load-in happens. I'm getting called all the time, and I tell people in the load information, do not call me. Do not call me. Text me. I'll probably see it. But if everyone's calling me at once, I just can't do anything. But dude, that phone dying, because like I've been at events. I live in Uptown, and I walked to Northeast Minneapolis to my friend's house from the State Fair because my phone died. And I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah. That's rough. So bring an extra charger, battery, bring hand warmers. What are some other logistical things? Obviously the Cornish game hen around your neck.
Don't forget the Cornish game hen.
Get a snacky snack.
Please drink water. We have water trailers.
Yep, I was just gonna
water
say
trailers. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free water trailers filled with multiple kegs of water. We will not run out. We want you to drink it. Oh my gosh, do I want you to drink water? Yep. And then also surprisingly, sunblock on your face.
Yeah.
Like it might be winter, but please put sunblock on your face. And then this is pro tip from a guy who walks the length of the event like 11 times. If you can find a way to bring an extra pair of socks that you can change into on your drive back, it's the best feeling in the world.
Happy feet.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you just bring like an extra. It doesn't even have to be wool socks, just new socks. Any new sock.
Okay.
You take it off and you put it on when you're on your way, either when you're waiting for your Uber or right at the end of the event.
That's a good idea.
Game changing.
I like that. Now I know that you've done they used to do wristbanding things. Mm-hmm. Is that still a thing, or does that all happen? Because I know Stouts was a popular gathering spot before. So we'll do Stouts, Tipsy Steer, and then Gabe's as well. They'll be doing our pre-wristbanding locations. So you can go there, get your wristband on, and that way you save yourself a little bit of time as you're going through the front gate. Sure.
That is like the biggest bottleneck of the event is just the front gate. And so we want to get people through there as quickly as possible.
Yeah. And did we say when it is?
It's February 21st.
February 21st.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota. You can buy tickets at beerdabbler.com.
Okay.
Follow you on social media?
You do, yeah.
No, like where can people follow you on social media?
You can follow. I was like, me personally.
If she's stalking the snackless people, she's definitely following you on social media.
We are definitely more prevalent on Meta platforms. So Facebook and Instagram are going to see like the most news. You can also subscribe to our newsletter on our website, but you can find us just at Beer Dabbler, on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
Excellent. And this is actually the first time I've been over to the liquor store.
Oh yeah, our Dabbler Depot here on West 7th.
Yeah.
It's a very, very nice liquor store experience because I don't think I've ever seen any place that has this much cooler space.
Yeah, we have a lot of cooler space.
It's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of cooler space, a lot of wines. Our goal here was to give people options that weren't like the major name brand options, but would also fit the, you know, oh, I really like Captain Morgan. It's like, oh, cool. Have you tried this rum before? Yeah. You know, it's around the same price point, same flavor profile, but a little bit higher quality. And then obviously the cooler space for the beer, it's like we're running out because we buy so much beer. I mean, THC has grown quite a bit. We've had to add 2 extra doors for our THC door, and our macro section seems to be shrinking as our craft beer section seems to be increasing. But we got cool things like a live plant wall that uses the recycled water of the coolers to water itself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I've been sitting here kind of looking up as like, oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Very calming.
Yeah, it's massive solar panels on the roof. So we kind of have like a middleman between the sun and our plants. Bringing for our grow lights, and then all of the water and the condensation made by our coolers is recycled through the system to water all the plants.
Oh, that's really cool.
We got a massive Wheel of Fortune wheel, and then we have a tap wall as well for a lot of our local beers so that people can try a little bit and dabble a little bit. Branding people.
It's all there.
It
all comes together.
Yeah, so like, I mean, we also have bottles behind the shelf if people want to try spirits or anything like that. And like all of our staff here is passionate about at least one section of the store, and we'll talk your off about it for hours if you let them.
Okay, here's this might be a dumb question. What is I've seen places that have bottles behind, like, what is the etiquette for that? Like, what's the same reason why, you go into an ice cream place and they like samples available. There's always one ass clown who wants to try all the things and is like, will you relax? This is meant to be, you're trying to decide between one or the other.
I'll give you a sample behind this with the bottles behind the thing. If you're thinking of between 2.
Okay.
Like if
that's
like,
okay. That's
like
what I
if,
was
like
that's
I,
what I assumed was the
like
proper
I like
thing.
tequila. I think tequila's great, and people are trying to get into tequila. And so if we have a couple bottles around the same price point, and they're just trying to figure out if they want an añejo or maybe just like a regular blanco, I'll pour them that. But if it then becomes like, oh, well, can I try that whiskey too? And I go, well, can I show you it on the shelf? They're like, nah. It's like,
go
okay.
down to Bennett's, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, it's like that. It's like, okay, you're clearly taking advantage of this. And then 2, it's like, dude, you're not going to get drunk off samples. Like, I'm not going to let you do that at a liquor store.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. You're here to try it, maybe spit it and go, okay, yeah, I will follow through with that purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have a really nice selection of spirits. There's a lot of different stuff. I mean, great selection and everything, but I've been pretty impressed with like all your different bourbons and stuff. I've seen stuff here that
our buyer,
I'm like, wow.
Oh, he's doing such a good job.
Yeah,
we love that guy.
I've been trying not to look out there.
Oh, you should walk around. Once we're done.
I'm gonna look around when we're done, but I didn't want to be like looking out here while we were talking because that label looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this was like, I remember when I walked in for my interview, I was like, whoa. Yeah, it's a cool spot.
Who does the art for your poster? Every year the poster's a little different. It's always really cool.
Yeah, we did Dave Witt this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he's historically done most of our poster art.
Okay.
And for Jordan and I, when we were looking at the marketing for it, we kind of wanted to do like a return to form. With the Coliseum closing, it felt like a little bit like of a refresher. This is going to be a little bit different. We can go back to basics and stuff like that. With the way things are going with the beer industry, we thought like, let's just celebrate beer, recognize that this is the reason we're all here. Breweries need our support right now. Let's return to form. So we went with the same artist that people are kind of like consistent. Like his style is pretty synonymous with a lot of the Beer Dabbler like kind of marketing just because he's done it for so long. He hand draws all of it. It's so cool.
It's really neat.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to bring back the cheese? Were you here for that? They did that for a couple of years. So for a couple of years, the Coliseum was like this, like a bunch of cheese. It was like all these cheese. Like it was the coolest thing ever. Because you'd be like, go in there, warm up. And they also had like some of the bigger regional brands.
Yeah.
Like, so they would all be in there, but then they're like, if you walked around the concourse, there was all these like little cheese setups, and you get little samples of things, and you get like, it was amazing because I love cheese and I love beer. It was really, really cool.
Damn. I know why my Wisconsin ticket sales are down. Oh my gosh.
Something to think about.
Bring
Something
back
to think
the
about
cheese.
for next year.
No, I'll think about that.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was like, wow, this is great. And they had other stuff but it was just like a neat display. And people were handing out cards. And so like Some of them were like local creameries, and some of them were like, it was just like London Byerly's. I think that's who sponsored it.
Okay.
So like it was really fun. Really different,
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. I'll try to bring that back. Yeah. So much of it is like sponsor dependent with festivals. And I didn't know going into it. I was like, oh, we can just do this. We can just do this. And then it's like, all right, here's the bill for the cheese. You're like, oh, that's right. I need lunch to put the bill for the cheese. Right. So it's like people do ask a whole lot about like, are you going to bring this back or is this going to come back? And it's like, all right, well, yeah, we'll try. A lot of it was sponsor dependent in the past. And yeah, that's just kind of how we think about it. But it is like we are getting to that point in the life cycle of this festival where we can start bringing things back and it feels new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we have enough new consumers who are coming through who are just like, oh, what the cheese? This is brand new to me, you know? So
that's right.
Yeah. So
then there's people like me.
Can't get
I remember when I was that excited. Well, I'm still excited. Move out of my way. Have you noticed? I know that after COVID especially, but even before COVID, it seemed like we were kind of getting a little bit of a festival fatigue. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on where we are with that now. Ooh. Have you noticed a new, and maybe like you just said, we're getting a new generation of people getting into festivals, but it seemed for a while that it was like there were festivals happening all the time and everybody was going. And then there was like, we hit kind of a plateau and then there was like a dip and then COVID made it dip even more. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I know that in talking to other people who do festivals is like the last couple of years have definitely felt like a struggle.
It's no secret that just events in general are difficult. Twin Cities are a bit unique just because of the seasonal aspect of some of this and stuff like when spring hits, like I was shocked at how quickly events would pop up everywhere. Yeah. People are ready to do things. You know, they have cabin fever, but just there's a general new kind of buying practice when it comes to tickets, and tickets really are the determining factor of like how this might play out with regards to like the festival fatigue. People want to go to events. People want to be engaged. People want to leave their homes and check things out, but people aren't always willing to buy a ticket to do it. They are like the free events that, you know, are put on by your local neighborhood stuff are definitely getting a lot more like foot traffic per like square footage than like your larger events and stuff like that. But the other thing there's no momentum just in the way tickets are purchased and talked about. What happens is you have like a very dead sales period and then it shoots up like day before the festival.
Okay.
And like the anxiety you will feel as an events person.
I would hate that. I would hate that.
You're sitting there going like, oh my gosh, like we've only sold XYZ tickets, or like, oh my gosh, like things have been really good, but then they dropped off and they've been really good and it's all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason to it anymore.
Okay.
And so what that's done for events coordinators is they essentially have to operate in the dark. You know, if I don't know how many people are going to be showing up to my event until like the day before, I have no idea how I ought to like really hone in on how this thing is set up.
Yeah.
I'd be snorting Tums. I'd be having so much anxiety. That's crazy.
It's great. And that's just across the board. That's even for concerts, you know, that's for sports games, that type of thing. That's just across the board. People, it seems, post-COVID, don't know what they're going to be doing 2 weeks from now, and they don't want to commit to anything. And, you know, buying a ticket is a commitment in some way. And so, like, that's been the biggest thing. I think there's, like, a loss of momentum just from the sense that, like, it's not a thing that's talked about until it's, like, the week of when everyone's buying it. When all your friends are like, I just bought tickets, you got to go buy tickets to this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's a momentum. It's not like oh my gosh, guys. Like, it used to be, like, tickets are going on sale today. We need to get them. And I can't wait to be there. You know, there's that conversation that happens. Or, like, I bought them when they went on sale. You got a month left. Buy them. They're going to sell out. You know, we just don't know anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
That's kind of interesting.
It's interesting. The fatigue, I don't know. When it comes to beer, I know, like, I have new customers every year. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot of like returning customers and stuff like that. And so what I could see sometime, I have like diehards like yourselves, you know, and like my big diehard beer fans who go to every beer festival all the time. This is like a real hobby thing, but I'm getting a lot more people who they've never done the beer thing before, and they go like, it's not for me. Like, that was fun, and then they might forget about it. And then it's just like, and what I want to do is hopefully capture them a little bit, because then I need the culture to survive.
Yeah.
The culture around beer, the culture around, you know, Minnesota beer lovers to survive, and we need to bring in new people like that.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a tough egg to crack. We don't, we at the Beer Dabbler, like we think about it all the time. Like, how are we going to keep these people coming back? How are we going to have this be a cultural thing that goes on and on and on and on? How do we get other people involved that might get other people excited about it? You know, that type of thing.
To be fair, I didn't know anything about these beer festivals until going to Winter Beer Dabbler. And again, it changed everything. It was not, I don't know what I had in my head for what it was going to be, but it was so far beyond what I could imagine in such a good way.
I think there's, I read something, I forget where it was. It was on some beer kind of magazine. I read it. And the people who are getting into the drinking age right now grew up with their parents taking them as kids to breweries. Yeah. You know, these older millennial parents who really enjoyed the beer craze and still enjoyed the beer craze. And they brought their kids. And now for the kids, instead of going to breweries and thinking that this is a new exciting thing that they can try now that they're 21, they go, oh, that's the thing mom and dad brought me to.
Oh,
you know, that's what the article was talking about.
I've never heard that. That's fascinating.
And so, like, I speak with my friends come to the Beer Dabbler, and I make them buy a ticket. It's like, you better be buying a ticket, guys. You got to support me.
Yeah.
But they come and they love it, but they also know what it's about. I start talking to other people who've never been to beer festival. Like, they almost think it's like nerdy, or like you're gonna see guys with flannels and beards and like 5-panel hats with like IPAs, and they're there.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong, they're there. But you'll also see a guy dressed up as a unicorn with like a big thing of salami tied around his neck.
Yeah.
And like, I think, you know what I mean?
That should be the poster for next year.
That might be me.
You're going to see somebody dressed.
Please, I need that to be you.
Yes, please.
And I think...
Wait, it's a Cornish game hen, not salami.
Well, either way.
I was so close.
Yeah, the next poster will be you riding a Cornish game hen to the Beer Dabbler.
Yeah.
We could AI that.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
I think one of the reasons Beer Dabbler has stood the test of time compared to like other beer festivals when it was a big craze is because we have the wackiness, and like Jordan, our marketing guy, he will literally find the craziest photo he can find out of the thousands of photos he takes and be like, this will now be on all of our social media. Like, you know, you will see, we used to have this photo for Pride of like this really, really buff dude at Pride with like a rainbow like tank top, just riding a mechanical bull. And it was just like, yeah, that's what we're going to put out there. Like, that's what people need to see. Or we do find like every now and then you find like a guy who's like, doesn't know how to dance, but he's dancing his heart out. And you get like the perfect shot of him and you're like, that goes up there. Yep. You know, so
it was just such a good time. The people watching, fantastic.
Yes.
The beer, fantastic. If you don't like beer, there's other beverages that you can enjoy while you're watching all of this stuff happening around you.
So yeah, we try to keep it as different as possible.
Because I do, after a while, it's like, okay, I'm done walking. I just want to meander and not in a
lean up against the pet barricade.
I always wind up just like congregating at certain tents and just chatting and
but isn't that like half the fun?
Yeah, I love it, and that's why I used to be like, no, I've got to get around to everybody. Now I'm like, I'll try to get to people and take pictures at the beginning, and then I just want to socialize, or like it's helpful for me. Like if I want to, there's usually a lot of people there, brewers and stuff. It's like just nice to have a lot of people in the same location just to touch base with and.
It is nice. All the brewers know each other. All the beer tenders.
It's a family reunion for beer people.
It is like a family reunion. Absolutely. And like for me, that was electric when I was there.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. Like I very rarely get to talk to people at the event because it'll be like, Sam, we have a problem over here. And it's like, all right, thanks. I'll be right over. And as I'm going there, it's like, Sam, something exploded over here. And it's like, all right, cool. I'll be right over. And and I'm sprinting around on my golf cart trying to get to things and stuff like that.
Sam, is it legal to bring in a Cornish game hen on a snacklace? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It's like,
there's a lady named Courtney. Let her in.
We have a guy here with his dog. What should we do? And it's like, this sucks. I want the dog here because I love dogs, but he also can't be here.
That dog would be freaked out. That would be,
We just get like, I was like, problem at the porta potties on the north end. Sam, we need to talk to someone. It's like, Sam, can you get security for the porta potties really bad? It's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? It's like, what am I going to walk into?
Security and porta potties are two things I never want to hear in the same sentence.
When there's finally that calm and the festival runs itself and people enjoy themselves and I can talk to folks and be like, are you having a good time? Like, how are you doing? It's like, God, this is why we do it.
Yeah.
This is why we do it.
Oh, that's cool.
I think this should be everyone's call to action to go get your ticket now.
Please.
Yeah.
And help.
Don't wait till the day before though.
Stress.
Let's help Sam, enjoy. Buy your tickets as soon as you hear this when it drops.
Yeah. If you haven't gotten them already.
If you bring me blue crabs on a snackless, we will put you on the next poster.
Oh yeah, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee.
I will get WCCO there to interview me how it felt after I see blue crabs on a snacklace in Minnesota.
That's a pretty good deal.
All right, we've got a list of things we need to make happen at the Beer Dabbler this year.
Yeah, we got to find some Cornish game hens, some blue crabs, all sorts of stuff.
Unicorn,
a mechanical bull. I don't know.
Mechanical bull.
Let's dream big.
Let's dream big.
We can do all of this. One more time, Sam, where can people find you and buy tickets for the Winter Beer Dabbler?
They can find us on beerdabbler.com, and you can buy your tickets right there. We have general admission going for $55, early access going for $70, and we have designated driver going for $20. You can also follow us on social medias at Beer Dabbler across the board, from X to Facebook to Instagram.
Even if you're not going to Beer Dabbler, you should toss a follow so you can see some of the great imagery that's going to come out of
You'll
the
have
Beer
severe
Dabbler.
FOMO and want to
Yes.
get tickets for the next event. Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Dan, where can people find you?
If you just search up a 1 pint stand, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Mastodon, TikTok. I got a great new episode. A lot of people have been excited about Dangerous Man.
Yes.
I interviewed the new Dangerous Man owner.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
There's a lot of fun reasons to be excited about Dangerous Man because they're going to have a tap room.
Wait, do you talk about the tap room on the episode?
He gave some subtle hints.
Okay.
Beautiful.
But he said there will be a tap room and it will be in Northeast. So
Ooh.
that's exciting.
This is all exciting.
This is very exciting.
Well, I'm Courtney. You can find me at The Brewery Adventure on Instagram or thebreweryadventure.com. You can email me, Courtney at thebreweryadventure.com, if you'd like to send me an email or send me a message. That's
or a recipe for a Cornish game hen that you were going to wear on your necklace. That'd be helpful. Have you ever prepared a Cornish game hen?
I have never prepared a Cornish
they're
game
tricky.
hen.
They're fast. That's
well,
you
I don't really
gotta
cook,
throw
Dan,
that
so
out
this
there.
is going to be a challenge all on its own.
I'm going to release Cornish game heads into the festival.
What was that noise? It's just a beer line acting up with the CO2.
Wait, can I just carry a live one?
I don't care.
You
Just
do
it.
you.
It's not a dog.
not
Are
a dog.
Cornish game hens
Just don't
permitted?
release it right by the flame thing. It'll be very traumatic.
Oh.
Get your Cornish game
If
hen
you
here.
can manage to catch a Cornish game hen, I feel like you've earned the right to have an emotional
Yeah.
support Cornish game hen at the festival.
That could be the Brewery
I got a
Adventure
couple
mascot.
weeks to figure this out.
Yeah, perfect.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Sam, so
Yeah,
much for
thank you,
joining
guys.
us
Thanks
today.
for taking
This has
time
been
to chat.
fantastic.
Absolutely. Really got to be here.
I look forward to seeing you at the Beer Dabbler.
See you at the Beer Dabbler.
Cheers.
Cheers.